It is 5 o'clock, so why don't we go ahead and call this Parks and Public Works Committee meeting to order. Are you keeping track of attendance for us over there?
Yes,
Are you clerk?
well,
And-
that has not been told to me, but I am filling in for these two tonight, so
Okay, all right.
I will add that one to my.
Chief bottle
Cool.
washer and.
Cool.
Correct.
All right. First thing on here is agenda approval.
Make a motion. I'll second it.
Okay, well, then the agenda is approved and we will move on to public comment. It does not appear that we have anybody in chambers from what would be classically referred to as the public. Does anybody else want to say anything as a member of the public? I'll take that as a no, so we'll close public comment and move on to approval of the minutes dated July 22nd, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
They are approved, and let's move on to discussion. King County Aquatic Grants Update. Mike, are you going to be speaking to that, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So, some bad news. We've received information that the county did not award us anything in this grant cycle. The mayor and I are attempting to meet with the powers that be at the county next week to find out more information regarding that. We are attempting to circle the wagons with the design group to bring back options at a future date once we have them. So it's a bit of a to be continued, but as of now, we've been informed that we are not receiving any funding from King County.
And this was the $4 million aquatics,
This was a $4 million grant we applied for, yes.
and no word on where it would have gone, or that would be a meeting next week.
We do not know that information yet. There's a group meeting scheduled for in the 20s in August to discuss the ranking of everybody. They're meeting with us a little early at the mayor's urging so that we understand what happened.
there was no explanation for that decision. It
No.
was just a decision
It was an email telling us we weren't.
declined.
Yeah.
Okay, and, yeah, okay, so no reasons given or anything like that.
Nope, we hope to get that information next week.
Okay,
I'm sure they went through, did their rank and file, and they just sent that out immediately saying, you're in, you're out. And now they'll go through and these were the considerations of in and out.
Correct. The only difference between the two grant cycles, from the first time when we were successful and this time was they did add a needs-based component to the last grant cycle that we applied for, the one that we were unsuccessful in. They wanted to know a lot about the demographics and the incomes and the poverty rates of the applicant.
and the outreach done by the YMCA to needs-based clients, that, did that,
All
did we
that, all
present
that
that?
data, all that data was provided, yes.
Okay. Well, that is less than optimal news.
I agree.
All right, and so sometime in August, in the August 20s, there'll be a. Do we know anything about who did receive grant?
We don't know anything.
We don't know anything about that either.
No, we'll know that sometime in the August 20s. So probably the second meeting in September is when I'll be able, prepared to come back. I'm going to miss the first meeting in September. I need to go to New York for a day.
So, and you said you're meeting with the design group to come back with what are options? What are the parameters on the options?
Well, that's part of the meeting is to figure out what are the parameters. We are also in discussions with the YMCA, so there's nothing really to report because until we have a couple meetings and have something to talk about, we don't have anything to talk about.
Any word from the YMCA on like how their fundraising is progressing, or?
They have not started. They are waiting for the information.
Grant
So
information.
they have not begun yet. Well, let me rephrase that. They've started the initial groundwork for it, but they have not begun the campaign yet.
They did submit for their grant from state.
They did, and they did receive it.
Well, that's disappointing. Anything else? You got any insight to add, Jeff, that we're missing?
Trying to assemble the design team
To do what? To do,
discuss what our options are. You know, remember we came before with multiple options, right? So based on where we're at with funding, I think we need to kind of look and see if there's something viable that is within our price range.
it sounds like what you're saying, if I may, it sounds like what you're saying is maybe shrinking the project a bit to make it more affordable. And I would just say a smaller pool, I don't think would fly. In my opinion, it kind of feels like we were already looking at, and this is just my opinion, I am one of seven. But it kind of feels like we were already looking at something that might have been small to too small. So diminishing the size of the pool, which might be the only way to really close a $4 million gap. I mean, just in my opinion, would be unattractive to at least one councilman.
We could look at things like, there was two pools, one was a recreation. So we could remove that, that makes the building. I don't think we, consider making that pool smaller, might actually make that, you know, adding a couple lanes to that to make it a better competition. But still get it in a smaller envelope. And by doing that, you could shrink the locker room facilities to right size of that. We had some office space, we had flex space, child care, improved child care, facilities. You know, a lot of those options could be eliminated to try to get the cost down. I don't know. I mean, I think there's gonna have to be some discussions, YMCA, and there's other things, but the first step is to gather the team and find out what potential options are for reducing costs. And we'll weigh those. And if we see something that we think is viable, then I think we can bring it forward, but I don't know that we're even close to that yet. We haven't really met with them to have that discussion. We have some budget left. And, you know, we can use that if we decide to move forward with cost options.
So for my edification, as I attend these meetings, can we talk about the size of the pool? So the pool that was proposed was your standard high school competition size swimming pool. 6 lanes, 25 yards. That was the lap pool component of our current design with approximately the same square footage of water in the recreation pool. So I would like to know what size is desired. Cause that's a lot of square footage of water to do a lot of swimming in. You know, I used to run 60, 90 kids an hour through swim lessons in a pool that size. So I struggle to understand why that would be too small.
Some options discussed and frequently discussed had 4 lanes instead of 6.
Oh, the design that we settled on was 6.
Right, but the discussion we were just having was the talk of reducing amenities in order to close the budget gap.
Correct.
If that was to reduce pool, that wouldn't be attractive. The idea of eliminating the part that would be most useful for elderly and uh, and folks that need those, the amenities that were in that other pool is also not attractive. For the amount of money, even if we shave $4 million off the budget, it's still a huge, huge ask for Snoqualmie. And I think to lose, well, by your estimates, half the square footage of water is, I think for me, that'd be a deal breaker.
But that's programmed water space, not unprogrammed water space.
I don't understand.
So that's water space that's by design is programmed for certain uses. So a lot of that is current channel.
Uh-huh.
But you really can't use that for flex programming such as swim lessons, water polo, swim team, et cetera. You can only do certain activities in that space. That's also an area that's 0 to 3 feet. I think it was 0 to 3 feet deep. You're not going to be teaching diving, doing swim lessons or much in that area. So it's not as, from an operations standpoint, just as my former pool operator self, it's not as valuable space to the operations. It's very valuable to the 2-year-old that wants to splash in the water at the water's edge. But for the masses, that's part of the calculus.
I think it's also valuable for folks that are, need water therapy, physical therapy, like that. So I think that I don't think that we were considering that feature because it was not valuable.
I understand.
But far be it from me to let my imagination be the limiting factor on whatever you guys figure out. So let us know.
Ultimately, we're all in this together.
Yeah, the question is, are we going to get wet? Kat, you looked like you were about to say something.
No, I do hear what City Administrator Chambliss is saying, that, the primary concern, I think, was a lot of safety issues with the swim lessons and, of course, the aquatics, the therapy of being able to do the swimming, which you can't do in the lazy river, so to speak, as well as competitions and training and stuff like that too. So I see what you're saying as far as the lap pools. Part of it is probably the primary focus, and then the other may be more of a secondary type of nice to have type of thing, and certainly have some benefits, but maybe that's something that could be shrunk down. I don't know about that, but to just like a jacuzzi type of thing, I'm not sure
I won't recommend that because I'm a certified pool operator. I know
what goes on in the jacuzzi.
But microbiologically speaking, but as an operator, I want as much square footage of water that's not pre-programmed. So I have the utmost in flexibility because you can still do water therapy treatment in a swimming pool without a current. It just means you're walking in the pool. The resistance is still there. So it's just a lot more programmable, but it's also really nice to have if you can afford it.
All right.
So-
Anything else on that?
Well, just your choice of commentary, but will you forward the notification out to the rest of council
Sure.
that,
The email?
yeah, the
Okay.
email?
Yeah. The email.
There's nothing else on our agenda. If we're all done talking about that, other than a potential motion to adjourn, do you have something else that you wanted to talk about? Okay, you looked anxious. I'm a little anxious too. It's okay. It wasn't a criticism.
I'm good.
Not me, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn then.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second the motion to adjourn.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.